Welcome everybody. My name is Tanisha and I'm a teacher here at Balance, and today I'll be walking you through a gentle flow class. And the aim of a gentle flow class is to still be working with a nice and comfortable flow, but to also stay gentle and present so that we don't overdo it. So you want to stay nice and soft and true to yourself. We're going to start our practice seated, so in a comfortable seated position, either cross-legged or maybe at home on a block or a bolster or something that makes you sit extra comfortably. And then we're going to bring the hands onto the knees and close the eyes. And as soon as the eyes are closed, we're just going to take, first off, 3 full breaths. And with these 3 full breaths, we first allow us to come into the space that we're in, onto the mat, and then third, into the body. And then after you've taken these 3 long breaths, once you've brought your attention towards your body, allow yourself to do a quick body scan. So scanning the body from the lower part of the body, so your sitting bones all the way up towards the crown of your head. And maybe noticing if there are any areas in the body that may feel a little bit tight or unsettled. And from there, finding some softness by exhaling a little bit deeper, by dropping the shoulders, and by trying to relax the hips as much as possible down towards the floor. And we're first going to take a moment to, again, through that scanning of the body, really stay with those areas that feel tight. And see if you can, with your breath, slowly soften. And once you've given your body those couple of breaths to relax, we will stay with the awareness towards the breathing, slowly allowing our breaths to become longer and fuller and deeper, making sure that we use the full capacity of your lungs. So we're going to do a 3-part breath. The start of your breath will be in your belly, the second part in your ribs, and the last part will peak in your chest. And when you exhale, you'll move from the top back down to the bottom, using full capacity of your lungs, and with each breath, sending new energy in. So feel that when you inhale, that the belly expands, that the breath rises into your ribs so that you breathe into the side body, and then the breath peaks high up into your chest, relaxing the shoulders, opening the collarbones. And then when the exhale comes, the chest comes down, the ribs will come back in, and then last, the navel will pull itself in towards the spine. Take 2 more long deep breaths like this. And then slowly On your next inhale, you may bring both hands together in front of your chest as we will set our intention for today's practice. So an intention can be either a wish or a feeling for yourself or for somebody else. And then once your intention has been set, you may release your hands and open up your eyes. So on your next inhale, you may reach both arms all the way up towards the sky, reaching your fingertips up high, growing tall. And then slowly from here, we'll send the right hand down towards your mat, maybe bringing your elbow down into the floor, and then reaching the left arm all the way over. Gazing underneath the armpits, so we're going to roll the left shoulder down and back, stretching out. And then slowly on your inhale, we change sides, bringing the left hand down to the floor, maybe the elbow, you could stay on your fingertips. And then reaching the right arm all the way over. Stretching from the side, trying to keep your hips down. So if you feel that the right hip is coming off, then try to pull your sitting bone down towards the floor. Slowly inhale, we come back into the middle. And then from here, we'll bring the fingertips behind, right? So the fingers are pointing back, bring your elbows together, and from here, we're just gonna lift up the ribs and lift up the chest. Feeling a nice opening in the front of the body, maybe roll your shoulders back a little bit more, lifting up higher, lifting the chin. One more deep inhale. And then when you exhale, you slowly come down. And then we'll walk the fingertips forward, so forward fold. Walk the fingertips as far as you can, and maybe eventually even dropping your head down towards the ground. Long, deep breaths, trying to roll your sitting bone down into the floor. And then on your next inhale, we'll lift up the head, and this time we'll walk the hands towards the right side. Maybe dropping your head down towards your knee, side stretch. Maybe walking your fingertips even further. If your head doesn't touch your knee, don't worry about it. And then on the next inhale, we lift up, walking the hands towards the other side, all the way over towards the left, and then reaching the fingertips over towards the left. And again, maybe dropping your head down towards your knee. Gentle, long breaths, deeply in, deeply out. And then slowly on your next inhale, we lift back up, walk our hands back into the middle. And then from here, we're gonna unflip the legs. If you get pins and needles from sitting fairly quickly, you may wanna shake out your legs or move your kneecaps around. And then we're gonna turn around and come into a tabletop position. So in our tabletop, our hands are underneath the knees, underneath the shoulders, and the knees underneath the hips. We're going to move into a fairly easy movement to wake up the spine. So trying to create a nice fluid and rhythmic motion with the spinal column to open up the back body a little bit more. So on the inhale, as the feet are flat, we're going to first send the sitting bones up, drop the belly, and then arch the spine as we lift up the chin and look all the way up. As you exhale, you want to curl your tailbone under, pull the belly in, and then press into the palms firmly so you're rounding the upper part of the back, bringing your chin towards your chest. On your inhale again, we send the sitting bones up, drop the belly, drop the ribs, open the chest, lift up the chin as high as possible, breathe. And on your exhale, bringing your tailbone under and pressing into the palms. So taking a couple movements like this on your own pace. So maybe you're moving a little bit faster, maybe you're moving even slower. As long as you feel that you're moving on the breath and that you're not missing out on any part of your spine. So each and every vertebra is being used, slowly creating more fluidity through the spinal column, more flexibility and softness. Lifting all the way up on your inhale, and then slowly on your exhale, we'll curl back under, press into the palms, pull the heart into your shoulders, and then from here, we'll drop the hips back and down for a child's pose, walking the hands towards the top of your mat and relaxing your head all the way down. So in child's pose, the hips drop down towards the heels, the arms are shoulder distance apart. And this posture is our pose to come back to as soon as we feel that our practice is not so much gentle anymore. And slowly from our child's pose, once you feel that you've caught up with your breath, we lift up the head and look forward towards the hands. We're going to come back up into table and curl the toes under, and then press ourselves up and back for our first downward facing dog. So in our down dog, the first one, we're going to pedal the knees back up towards the chest, lifting one heel and then the other, allowing slowly but surely a little bit more stretch in the back of your legs. So slowly paddling, walking your dog. And then eventually coming a little bit more into a still posture where the feet are hip distance apart and where the hands are shoulder distance apart and where the fingers are spread. Slowly pressing into your palms, lifting the sitting bones up and back, relaxing the head, taking a deep breath in. And then from here, slowly, as we look forward, we're going to push the hands into the floor, walking the hands all the way back until you meet with your feet. Then we take a hold of the opposite elbows and slowly dangle and relax all the way forward. So here, if you need a micro bend in your knees, you can always bend your knees to relax a little bit more so that there's not too much tension in the back of your legs. Maybe shaking the head a couple times. And then slowly on your exhale, we release the hands down, we bend the knees, and with a round spine, we roll all the way up until the hands come last, reaching the hands all the way up towards the sky. And then slowly on your exhale, bring your hands next to your body. So we're going to move first through a half vinyasa before we move into a full sun salutation. So you can bring your feet together. We're on the back of the mat still. And on your inhale, we reach the arms all the way up, gazing up at the thumbs, relaxing the shoulders. And on your exhale, with the knees bent to make it a little bit softer, coming forward and bringing your fingertips or maybe your palms down towards the floor. Then we inhale, we lift up the chest, so allow your arms to be straight and the back to be flat. Maybe you need to bring your hands to your shins. And then we exhale and fold again. So relax your head completely, maybe your nose towards your knees. And then we bend the knees again. On the inhale, we roll all the way back up into standing as we reach the arms all the way back up, looking up at your thumbs. And on your exhale again, the hands down next to the sides. So one more time, inhale, we reach the arms up as we grow taller, looking up at the thumbs, reach up, and exhale through the knees, bending forward from the hips, maybe fingertips or palms flat to the ground. On the inhale, we lift up the head, arch forward, maybe hands to the shins, and exhale again, folding forward. One more as we inhale to bend the knees, we roll all the way up into standing. The head and the arms come last. Long, deep breath. And exhale, hands next to the body. We do one more time to come back into our downward dog. So we reach the arms up. Inhale. And on the exhale, coming forward. Inhale to look up, straightening the back. And then this time we exhale. I'm going to walk the hands all the way back forward. Step the feet hip distance apart, back into our downward facing dog. If downward dog is too much, you may always keep your knees bent and send the sitting bones up and back to release some tension in the back of your legs, rolling the shoulders away from the ears. Then on the exhale, we look forward towards the hands, and this time we walk the feet until we meet the feet with the fingertips. Exhale again to fold forward, relax your head. Inhale to bend the knees and come all the way up. And then slowly bring the hands together in front of your heart. So we're here at the tops of our mat. We're going to start with our next flow, relaxing the hands next to the body. First, taking another deep breath in. And on your exhale, maybe out through the mouth. And then from here, we're going to bend the knees, slowly gliding down and lifting the arms all the way up. Allow the arms to stay shoulder distance apart and to really curl the tailbone down. So if you feel that you're arching, make sure that you're lifting the sitting bones down towards the floor. Slowly, one more deep inhale to look up. And then again, bending through the knees, slowly coming forward and relaxing the head all the way down. Then on the inhale, we lift back up, halfway lift, and we step the right foot all the way towards the back of the mat into a lunge position. Here you want to feel the left knee above your left ankle. And we're going to bring the right knee down towards the floor, flipping the toes. On your next inhale, we're going to send the arms up in a supported low lunge position, relaxing the shoulders, maybe even gazing up. We're going to take a deep couple breaths here. So we're feeling a slight pull on the right hip. If it's too much, you may always come out a little bit to make sure that you're not hanging from the hips. And if you have a little bit more space, you want to feel that you're sinking forward as much as you can. Breathing deeply into the chest, into the shoulders. One more long deep breath in. And then on your exhale, we bring the hands back down towards the floor. And then step the left foot back into a tabletop position. Moving back into that cat-cow movement. So we're going to lift up the sitting bones as we look up. And as we exhale, the sitting bones come down and we round the shoulders. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. And slowly on the inhale, we come back into neutral. We're bending the elbows and we're going to send the chest and this chin all the way down towards the floor. Once you're all the way down, we're going to glide the body down towards the floor and press up into a cobra. So also here, you don't have to come up so high. If you have more space, you can press the palms. Otherwise, stay up halfway as long as you're pushing your toes into the floor strongly and lifting up the kneecaps. One more full breath in as we rise up. And on the exhale, pressing back from the palms. And then again, coming into downward facing dog. And we're going to hold this down dog for a little bit. Breathing again. If down dog is too much, you can always bend your knees a little bit. And slowly we step the feet together. And on the next inhale, you may rise your right leg all the way up and back. Make sure you keep pressing into your hands, that the heel is lifting. And then we look forward at the hands and step the foot forward in between the palms. This time dropping the left knee. And on the inhale, coming up for the other side. Reaching the arms all the way up, sinking down into the hip. Reaching the fingertips up high, relaxing the shoulders. Again, if it's too much, you may come out of the pose a little bit and just work on stretching out the left hip. Reaching up higher, maybe sinking down if you do have the space. One more long deep breath in as we reach up. And on the exhale, slowly bringing the fingertips back down to the floor. Left leg comes up. And then we step back to the top of your mat. Inhale your back straight, maybe hands to the shins, and exhale, slowly folding forward. Then we inhale, bending through the knees, coming back up into that chair pose position, so reach up, and then slowly exhale the hands next to the body. All right, moving through the other side, inhale, bending the knees. And exhale, slowly coming forward. Inhale, straightening out the back. And exhale, stepping the left leg all the way back and bringing your knee down towards the floor. Inhale to send the arms all the way up. Sinking down maybe a little bit more. And exhale to bring the palms down and to step back into a tabletop position. Cat-cow movements, about 3 or maybe 5 in your own pace. And then slowly coming back into neutral, sending the weight forward, bending the elbows and coming down with the chest and the chin. Sliding down with the hips, inhale for a cobra, or maybe you want to stay down a little bit more, yogi's choice. Pressing into the palms and coming back into downward facing dog. Taking 3 long deep breaths. Slowly on your next inhale, stepping the feet together and lifting the left leg all the way up. Keep pressing into your palms, lift the heel up as high as you can, looking forward and stepping your foot in between your hands. This time, dropping the right knee down towards the floor, and on your inhale, we send the arms all the way up, relaxing the shoulders, maybe looking up at the thumbs, maybe sinking down a little bit more. One more deep in breath. And exhale, we bring the palms back down, lifting the right heel. On the inhale, stepping the foot forward. Come up as your back flattens, your heart moves forward. Exhale, folding. Then, on your inhale again, we bend the knees, roll all the way up into chair pose, reach the arms up high, and exhale, bringing the hands next to the body. All right, from here we're going to move into a balancing position, tree pose, or in Sanskrit, vrikshasana. So important is to really ground. So if you're still wearing socks, make sure you take them off. We're going to bring the weight into the left foot, and you may either bring your foot onto your calf muscle or up a little bit higher if you have the space onto your left upper thigh. The kneecap of the left leg is lifted, and you want your toes to relax. So if you were to look down at your toes and you see that they're really crunching the floor or that they're even changing color, you want to make sure that they are relaxed. We start off with the hands together in front of the heart, and eventually, if you're stable, then we're going to reach the arms all the way up. So pick a point in front of you that is not moving. This will help you with your balance. And if you want to challenge your balance, then we shift the gaze up, relaxing through the shoulders, maybe even touching the fingertips together, growing up, growing taller, pressing from your left foot, still relaxing the toes of your left foot, still breathing. Balancing. One more deep inhale. And then we slowly exhale, bring the hands back together. Shift the gaze, the drishti, back into center. And then you may slowly bring the right foot down towards the floor. All right, shaking out the left leg maybe. Both legs. And then sending the weight into the right foot again, lifting up all the toes and spreading them, relaxing them. Choosing to bring your foot onto your calf muscle, so maybe here. Or up a little bit higher, as long as the foot's not on your knee. Then once the foot is in place, pick a point in front of you that isn't moving. And then the arms come up, relaxing through the shoulders, and maybe shifting the gaze upwards towards the sky. Maybe bringing the fingertips together, you might be able to feel your heartbeat in between your fingers. Relaxing your toes and standing strong, so feel the grounding through your right leg. Breathing. And then slowly bringing the hands back together, shifting the drishti, the gaze, back down towards the point on the ground. Bringing the left leg down towards the floor and coming back into standing. So maybe again, if you need to shake out your legs, you can shake them out. And then we come back towards the top of the mat. And this time we're going to take a big step with the left foot all the way towards the back of your mat. Bending the right knee deep. Allowing the right knee to be above your ankle and your left heel to point backwards. So the toes of your left foot are slightly angled towards the left corner of your mat. We're going to inhale to reach the arms open. And on the exhale, bringing the elbow down towards the knee and reaching the left arm all the way over towards the side. Slowly on your exhale, you may look down and slide your fingertips down towards the floor until the right foot comes in and you can bring both hands underneath your shoulders. Here, if you need to, you can always keep your knees bent just a little bit. We're going to fold forward to bring the head down towards the floor. Maybe all the way down, maybe somewhere here. As long as you keep pushing your toes firmly into the floor, relaxing forward. Again, if you need a bend in your knees, always feel free to do so. Then on your inhale, we come back up. Slide the fingertips all the way towards the back of your mat and allow the toes of your left to point out. Then we're going to bring the left hand onto the knee and come into the same posture towards the other side. Sinking down, reaching the right arm all the way over, side angle pose. Slowly on your exhale, you may look down and again, slide your fingertips over the floor. Now we bring the left foot back in. Then we bring the hands behind the shoulders, interlaced. Here, if it's too much, you can just hold on to your opposite elbows, lifting up the head and either coming back forward, this time putting all the pressure in your toes as you can, or lifting the hands all the way back overhead and relaxing your head all the way down. Make sure you breathe into the back of your legs. If you need a micro bend, you may always bend your knees. Then slowly on your next inhale, lifting up the head, releasing the arms, walking the hands back towards the top of your mat into a lunge position. We're going to step the right foot back on the inhale. And on the exhale, we come down with the knees, the chest, and then the chin. Sliding the body all the way down towards the floor. On the inhale, coming into cobra, pointing the toes, lifting up. And on your exhale, we come back into child's pose. Having the toes touching, the heels a little bit wider than the body, and then walking the hands all the way forward. And we're just going to take a couple breaths here in our child's pose. Catching a breath, giving the body a break. Then on your next inhale, we're going to lift up the head and we're going to come into a soft twist, bringing the right arm underneath the left, rolling the shoulder all the way under, and then maybe walking the fingertips of your left hand farther and further away from the mat. If you have even more space, you could reach your left arm all the way over and take a hold of your opposite hip. Then we slowly release the posture. Place your hand back to the floor to come out as you press up on your inhale. And as you exhale, we change sides. Then slowly on your next inhale, we press ourselves back up, all the way up until we're into tabletop position, curling the toes under and coming back into downward facing dog. Slowly, if you need some more movement in your down dog, you can again still pedal your heels up and down a little bit. Maybe shake out your head. And then from this downward dog, we look forward, and then you may slowly step your feet down towards the floor and take a seat. So, you want to make sure that the toes are pointing up so that you're not sagging from your legs, that you're lifting from the toes, that your kneecaps are lifting and that they're strong. We're going to come into a forward fold, not worrying about what's going on in your back, but feeling what's going on in the back of your legs. So if there's a lot of tension, you might just want to sit here and sit up straight. If you have a little bit more space, you may want to walk your fingertips forward. At some point, your back is going to round, but you want to make sure that you're not pushing or forcing too much in the back of your legs, because you want your practice to still be comfortable and gentle. So we're going to walk the hands forward. As soon as you start to bend, you may relax your head and slowly come into Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Legs stay active, but the upper body wants to relax. You can also take hold of your feet, relaxing the head. With every inhale, it's like you make space, and with every exhale, it's like you sink into the space that you've created. All right, so slowly coming out of your posture, rolling all the way down onto your back. And once you're flat on your back, we're going to bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet together, and just allow your knees to drop out towards the sides. You can take a hold of your opposite elbows, and then bring the arms all the way overhead. So really slowing down the practice even more, relaxing even more. So here you may close your eyes or keep them open, whatever feels good for you in this moment. But try to keep the concentration in your hips. So there might be a big stretch in the front, or maybe you feel a slight compression on the outside of your hips, the stretch in the shoulders. And then with each inhale and with each exhale, you relax. And maybe your knees drop down to the floor even more. I'm going to stay here for a little bit, breathing, softening, being nice to your body, gentle to your body. So also here, no forcing or pushing or wanting to be anywhere that you're not. And then slowly you may release your hands. And sometimes you need your hands to pick up your knees and to bring them back together. Bringing the knees back towards the chest, maybe rolling over your sacrum a couple times from left to right, massaging your tailbone and massaging your lower back. And our last posture for today is going to be an inversion, Salamba Sarvangasana shoulder stand. So if you know that you have a sensitive back, you can fold up a blanket and place this just underneath your shoulders to release some tension away from your neck. If you have real severe neck trouble, then you can just keep your feet up like so. Maybe find your way to the wall so that you can relax a little bit more. If there's no shoulder trouble and you're up for shoulder stand, we're going to lift up the hips and then change the hands so that they come to your lower back. The further you walk your hands down your spine, the more you can come up onto your shoulders. So here, ideally the feet are above the hips and the hips are above the elbows. The chin is towards the chest. If you feel that you're sort of arching here or you're sending your butt up and it becomes really heavy, really work on walking your hands down, and then you'll feel that almost automatically your toes will start to lift. We won't stay here for too long, just a couple breaths to get all the blood flowing, all the blood pumping. Breathing into the neck, into the shoulders. Legs are strong, toes are happy and spread. And then we're gonna bend the knees. Option 1 is to just lower your knees towards your forehead and relax here. If you have a little bit more space, you want to straighten out your leg and bring your toes down onto the floor. Maybe interlace your fingers behind you. Taking 5 long deep breaths. And then to come out of the posture, we bring the hands back to the lower back, bring the knees back towards the forehead, right? So you are supported here. Then you can let go and slowly roll your hips all the way back down towards the floor. Allow your legs to touch the floor last, and as soon as your toes come down towards the floor, we move into the counter position, a variation of fish pose, lifting up the head, maybe pressing the head down into the floor. Deep breath in. And now on this one, you may stick out your tongue and breathe out all the stale air. One more. Exhale. And then slowly make your face come back to normal. Lift up the head and come and lay down flat on your back, opening the legs a little bit wider than hip distance, bringing the palms up. Closing the eyes, relaxing, nothing else to do, nowhere else to be. Savasana, final relaxation. And allow your breath to become soft, natural breath. And just allow everything to melt down into the floor. And when you are ready and done with relaxing, you may slowly start to wiggle your toes and your fingers, your wrists and your legs, arms, maybe reach the arms overhead. And from here we roll on to the side of the body. Take a moment here to notice what's going on in the physical body. mental body, maybe even emotional body. And then we slowly press ourselves back up into seated, finding your comfortable seat, either cross-legged or any other seat that you'd like to take. Closing the eyes and bringing the hands together in front of your heart. And take the moment to thank yourself for your practice, for your efforts and your energy. And I want to thank you for watching. Namaste.